Hello friends and welcome. Today we're taking a look at the Trudeau throne speech that happened this week. And are throne speeches always this padded with empty words? It was almost an hour and not much was said. It was a watered down speech with wet ideas, so I'll boil it down for you. See what I did there? So I'll take that hour-long speech and sum it up in really just a few minutes, and not really much, I don't believe, has been lost. Let me know in the comments below if I do miss something big and important from the throne speech, if you subjected yourself to that punishment. But let's get into it. All right, running down the list, we've got COVID bad, the economy needs government support, and the government should take on the burden. COVID revealed cracks in the system, things like systemic racism. And you would think that, if systemic racism is a thing, let's say it is, the government in control of the system should maybe do something about it and not just talk about it. That's just me, though. Call me crazy. Another thing that showed up again and again and again throughout the throne speech was the phrase, "Build back better." I've heard that before. I think I've even mentioned it in a previous video. They're stealing that saying from the Americans down south. That is an election saying for the Democrat Joe Biden. There are many things that could be said about him, but it's interesting that the Liberals are appropriating that statement, that saying, "Build back better." It's good sentiment, but the exact phrasing. There were lots of platitudes, a lot of virtue signaling. I mean, that's expected, I think, from Mr. Trudeau and a speech from his government. There are more COVID spending planned until next summer, so yay, we get another year of different payouts and stuff for folks. More feminism and intersectionality. What? I don't know what the government has to do with that, but alrighty. What was next on the list? Oh yes, a push for even more gun control, because we need more of that. Forget the criminals, forget the crimes being committed. Let's crack down on those horrible, horrible, law-abiding gun owners. All right, there was a push for more internet availability, so that's a good thing, eh? And the speech was filled with a lot of buzzwords, loaded words that in and of themselves aren't political and are not supposed to be divisive, but have become so. Words like equity, racism, intersectionality, LGBT, diversity, and on and on. Those sorts of words. There was some token talk about climate change thrown in there. We gotta keep doing better, keep doing good, keep doing what the people have elected us to do. Alrighty. And then there were some brief remarks on tackling online hate. That one actually has me a little, a lot of these have me concerned, but that sounds like online censorship. I mean, what happened to the good old days of, if you don't like it, don't watch, don't look at it, turn off the TV, go to a different webpage. All right, we gotta baby everyone, I suppose. But I don't want to be just a Debbie Downer. I want to look through this speech and see if I could find some pros, some things that I could latch onto and say, you know what? Touche. Good on you. And so I have grabbed some points that I think are well made and are good for everyone. There were things in there about more child care support, so helping parents, helping mothers, more support for the elderly. So, I think we can all get on board with that. There was talks of planting 2 billion trees. That was a part of the previous election plan. A lot of these were part of the previous election plan, so not a whole lot has changed, but it's still a good thing, a good plan, one that I think everyone can get on board with when it comes to the climate. Plant more trees. Hey, no division there. And I think as a whole, even though it was very empty, devoid of concrete plans, and I'm not expecting like a detailed list. It's an hour-long speech for the plan for the government going forward in this new year through this parliament session. But overall, the speech had a positive vision. And, can't complain about that. We can complain about what was in there or not in there, but the overall vision is one of positivity. And you know what? I think this is something that conservatives should take note of. Conservative politicians, I guess more than just politicians, be positive. And from the conservative politicians, show a positive vision. I think that's really what was lacking in the 2019 election with the Conservatives under Andrew Scheer. It was really a lot of anti-Trudeau, and that took them quite far, all things considered, reducing the Liberals to a minority. But if you really want to win, it has to be more than just, I'm not that. And I think we as Canadians often fall into that on a grand scale, even a national scale, as, we're not Americans. Well, that's not a way to define ourselves. What is a Canadian? And I think conservatives should take note of that and provide a positive vision. Here is our positive conservative vision for the future. And I understand that this is sort of at odds with any party that is in the opposition role. It's in the name. You're meant to oppose. You're meant to poke and prod and make sure that the ideas that the government is proposing have been well thought out, or at least have had a second pair of eyes on it, have had multiple angles of attack. So I get that it's kind of a negative role in and of itself being an opposition party, but proposing a positive vision is really what is needed. So in closing, in regards, coming back to the speech itself, the throne speech, one big con was that there wasn't anything that addressed the concerns of the West, where the Liberals were completely shut out. There was nothing to address their concerns, nor was there anything in there to address the growing division in the country. It was more of the same. And I guess that can also be looked at, if we want to end with a final pro, is that there was no radical change. There were talks, there were reports that there was bigger, bolder plans that were intended for the government, for the economy, for the nation. And the reports, the talks the rumors were that even other Liberals were like, let's ease up there. We can't get on board with this. And so things were scaled back and really just brought back to where the original kind of vision or plan that was shown in the 2019 election, we were brought back there. So, hey, that's kind of a pro, right? We didn't get a massive radical change, just more of the same. The same old. The election promises of the past wrapped in a progressive virtue signaling shell. And I guess at the end of the day, hey, let's not beat ourselves up, stress out too much. It's just money. A lot of money. Right? Alright, that's it for me. I've been John. This has been Thrower Overboard. And I hope you have a wonderful day.